So we're in Luke chapter 6 this morning, and the devotional app that we have reminded us that uh, God has chosen us as His disciples to bear fruit and to celebrate this moment, or celebrate, take a moment to celebrate this morning. This idea that despite our unsuitability, our unworthiness, um, however we might view each of those things, that God nonetheless chooses us to be reconciled to Him, chooses us to go and bear the fruit of His Spirit in this world, and that we can sit in that grace and celebrate that. And the text this morning actually, I think, has an interesting sort of confirmation of that, where in Luke 6, starting in verse 12, it talks about Jesus saying, um, during those days he went out to the mountain to pray, and he spent the night the night in prayer to God. And when day came, he called his disciples and chose 12 of them, whom he also named apostles: Simon, whom he named Peter, his brother Andrew and James, John and Philip and Bartholomew and Matthew and Thomas, James, son of Alphaeus, and Simon, who was called the Zealot, and Judas, son of James, and Judas Iscariot, who became a traitor. He came down with them and stood on a level place with a great crowd of his disciples and a great multitude of people from all Judea, Jerusalem, and the coast of Tyre and Sidon. They had come to hear him and to be healed of their diseases, and those who were troubled with unclean spirits cured. And all in the crowd were trying to touch him, for power came out from him and healed all of them. For me, what sort of stood out this morning in this moment to sit and acknowledge and celebrate and be thankful for the grace of God choosing those of us who are, at surface level and even at a core level of who we are, in many ways unsuitable, unworthy to be chosen to bear the fruit of God's Spirit, the fruit of love and joy and peace and patience and kindness and gentleness and self-control. Um, there's this moment to stop and realize that there's this beautiful image here where Jesus goes up to the mountain to pray to God, and he comes back and he chooses his disciples, and he chooses 12 of them, whom he also named apostles. And here, a few people we have named as apostles. We have some fishermen, and I think for me the most striking one that I come back to a lot is uh, we have a tax collector, Matthew, and we also have a zealot. And these were sworn enemies that, apart from Jesus, would have sought to kill one another. And here, and it continues. It's you got fishermen, you got a zealot, you got a former tax collector, and then you have Judas, who ends up betraying and becoming a traitor to Jesus. And so, what you have is Jesus comes from the mountain, and he calls all these people to him. And then in verse 17, there's this beautiful moment where Luke is writing. He says, he came down with them and stood on a level place with a great crowd of his disciples and a great multitude of people from all Judea, Jerusalem, coast of Tyre and Sidon. And so there's this powerful imagery where Jesus goes up to the mountain, prays to God. He comes and he comes down from this moment of prayer. He calls his disciples to him, and then he takes them down. He comes down with them and stood on a level place. And so I think there's this powerful reminder that in Jesus, as we come and are called to Jesus, called by Jesus to Jesus, in so many ways, whether we're a tax collector, a zealot, fisherman, whatever it might be, to be called to Jesus is in so many ways to be called to that great leveling place, where we're not the things that divide us, the things that create these hierarchies that I'm better than you, those are all just made level, and we are so caught up in this new identity in Jesus that says, more than anything else, you are my dearly beloved. So may that be so today. May we remember that may we live into that. May we celebrate that. May we share that gift with others on the great leveling place in this world. Amen.